In today's video, I have 5 different new tanks to talk about which are coming into the game. For example, the Object 268, the back-turreted medium tank, or the first double-barrel tank destroyer in low tiers, which has very memey gun, guys, and some other topics on the top of that. So let's not waste any time and let's dive right into the action. First up, let's talk about Battle Pass Season 9, the upcoming Battle Pass Season 9. Some leaks about that Battle Pass are out. For example, the vehicles which are going to receive this special 3D style, and the vehicles are AMX 13-105, the tier 10 French light tank, 60 DP Lewandowskiego, a tier 10 Polish heavy tank, and also Progetto Mod 40 M40 Mod 65 tier 10 Italian medium tank. All those tanks are going to be the special vehicles in Battle Pass Season 9. Here is some more information about the Battle Pass, like the commander, special commanders, 2 male commanders, 1 female commander, and it should start sometime in October because, in September, because the current Battle Pass ends at the end of August. So if you are close finishing it, just keep your grinding pants on and go get it done, Tiger, right? So Battle Pass Season 9 is coming, ladies and gentlemen. And next up, let's talk about Char Mle 75, a tier 9 French light tank, a very weird light tank, which I covered on my channel already like 2 weeks ago. And over there in that episode, I already said that they have changed this vehicle too many times to even count. They have buffed it, nerfed it, buffed it, nerfed it again, and now they are kind of buffing it again while nerfing some stats on the side. So this is a quite a weird tier 9 light tank with 2 different driving modes, the standard mode and the turbo mode. Standard mode has better gun handling than in the turbo mode, and it is not the type of mode switching like other EBRs get or the light tanks get. You know, you do not have to stop to switch modes on those vehicles. This is more like the CS63 type of mode switching, when you have to stop completely to switch between the turbo or the standard mode. But what they did to this vehicle now is they increased the number of shells in the magazine up to 6 again. This has been nerfed down to 4, up to 6, down to 4, and now once again up to 6 shells in the drum, which means number of shells in the clip is also increased from 2 to 3, and this increasing the gun rate of fire. This is increasing the DPM, but not as much as you may think, because they at the same time they lowered the average damage from 250 down to 200, and with the high explosive round from 400 down to 370. So yes, it is increasing the DPM, it is increasing the clip damage from 1000 to 1200, but not what it used to be. Many players said that at first when it came out it was actually looking like a very good, promising light tank, but then Wargaming decided to nerf it to the ground. You know, even before it is out, well, can we call it nerfing? Can we call it buffing? Well, they're just balancing it right now. We'll see what they end up doing with this. Anyway, Char Mle 75 once again going through some changes. Next up, let's talk about a completely new vehicle which I think I have not covered on my channel ever before, Object 283. I have no idea how many objects we already have in the game. I have lost count and I may not know enough numbers to count them all. Actually, if anybody has counted how many objects we have in the game already, if anybody knows, please let me know in the comment section down below, because it has to be quite a ridiculous number. But this one right over here is the upcoming tier 9 Soviet medium tank Object 283, but it plays quite a bit different compared to the K91, for example, because the firepower itself already, this is not a sniper, very fast firing sniper type of vehicle, with 360 alpha damage, 480 with high explosive round, penetration values quite low actually, 226 for a tier 9, 350, AP is the standard round, heat is the primo round, so 300 heat penetration. I wonder what the shell velocity is going to be. 300 heat, I would say definitely not my favorite type of ammunition. Reload time 9.4 seconds, so right now, you know, keep in mind all the characteristics are not final and are subject to change. 9.4 second reload time right now, aiming time 2.5 seconds, dispersion at 100 meters 0.38 meters. So definitely not a sniper type of vehicle, but I guess this vehicle is special with the survivability once again. We'll see. minus 6 degrees of gun depression, 20 degrees of gun elevation, so that minus 6 degrees of gun depression definitely is quite limiting, and ammunition capacity 50 pieces, so 50 shells in total. And them not saying anything about the turret traverse angles over here means this tank must have fully rotating turret, even when it is in the back, so once again something different from the K91, for example. Mobility, 50 top speed, 18 moving backwards, so not the fastest tank, but not the slowest one either, but definitely mobility, top speed wise it doesn't shine, 680 horsepower engine, 17.9 power to weight ratio is actually quite nice, and this may mean some meme builds, ladies and gentlemen. Mobility, you know, ramming type of mobility maybe, bullying other medium tanks with your ramming. Because hull rotation 50 degrees per second and turret rotation 40 degrees per second as well, so mobility respectable but nothing crazy. Survivability, however, 1700 hit points, hull armor 190 in the front, 80 on the sides and 45 in the rear. So it has 190 armor, right? And it is very extremely sloped. I guess the lower blade still is going to be a weak spot. Right now we do not have any information about the armor model, but the upper plate is just under extreme angle and it seems to be very bouncy. The turret 190 in the front, 110 on the sides and 60 in the rear. Well, that 190 in the front definitely gets spent by the premium rounds in this game quite easily, I would say. So even when it is quite slopey. View range 380 meters, and it has 4 crew members: commander, gunner, driver, and loader. So this is the upcoming Object 283, where it ends up being in a Tech 3, replacing the other Tier 9 we have. I don't think that, because the playstyle seems to be quite a bit different compared to the K91, so you know, questions still remain where this vehicle ends up being. Maybe some kind of a reward vehicle or a premium tank because of the low penetration. It might make sense. So moving on, next up, Harry Hopkins 1 over here, tier 4 vehicle, doesn't have any special you know, models, vehicle models ready yet, and it is a tier 4 vehicle. They're actually sharing information about 3 lower tier tanks in total, or mid tier tanks in total. Tier 4 definitely is a lower tier tank. You can see firepower 55 alpha damage, penetration, you know, quite standard high penetration for the tier 4 vehicles. Reload time 2.5 seconds, you know, fast firing gun over here with minus 10 degrees of gun depression, 140 shells in total, top speed 50, nothing crazy over here either, but power to weight ratio quite good, 23 power to weight ratio. Survivability and armor also quite weak. So Harry Hopkins with 3 crew members, commander, gunner, and driver. No loader inside this. Maybe ends up being some kind of a reward vehicle or a gift tank or something like that. Now, next up, let's talk about the Panzerkampfwagen KV-1, which looks like a KV-1 indeed, ladies and gentlemen, with 7.5 centimeter firepower over here, 110 alpha damage, 175 with high explosive, 115 penetration, 162 with APCR, 3.9 second reload time, 2.5 second aiming time, accuracy 0.37, minus 10 degrees of gun depression. You know, this is like a Germanized KV-1 basically, with a massive commander hatch for some reason, and you can see the 7.5 centimeter gun on the picture as well. Mobility, quite standard KV-1's mobility, 34 top speed, 500 horsepower engine with under 10 power to weight ratio, so quite a slow vehicle over here. But survivability, 850 hit points, 75 hull armor, 75 on the side as well. So, you know, you need to angle this vehicle, and turret 110, 110, 110 all around with 330 meters view range. So German KV-1 basically coming into the game as well. And finally, probably the most exciting new tank in today's list, in today's video tank list, is SU-2-122 Tier 5 Soviet tank destroyer with a double barrel firing system. So this is the first double barrel tank destroyer in the game, if I'm not mistaken, and seems like they're testing the waters with this Tier 5 version over here. And the gun is, you know, very interesting to say the least. It has two different shell types to start off with, kind of a terpy, firepower over here. HE and heat. HE damage 450 with 61 millimeters of penetration in tier 5, and heat 370 damage with 140 millimeters of penetration. Reload time for a single gun is 12 seconds, so 12-second reload time, quite a long reload time. Preparing time for a single shot. They say over here single shot, but as far as I understood, this is a little typo over here, and it actually means the salvo preparation time, which is 4 seconds. So if you want to take the double shot, the preparation time, the loading time is 4 seconds. And after you do the double shot, the reload time is locked for 3 seconds, and then it starts reloading your guns one by one again for 12 seconds. And gun changing time, if you want to fire them, in a cyclic fire, one after another, the reload time for that, or the gun switching time for that, is 7 seconds. So quite a long switching time, basically meaning they want you to take that double shot almost all the time for 900 alpha damage, actually, in tier 5. 900 alpha damage with the double shot, ladies and gentlemen, if you fire a high explosive round, or 740 with heat. That is quite nuts, if you ask me, for tier 5. Imagine this tank facing other lightly armored tier 5 tanks or tier 4 tanks. Well, it is able to one-shot some tier 4s even with a single shot. So quite a nuts over here. Or if it is in the +2 matchmaking, it is able to one-shot or the double shot some tier 7 tanks. +2 matchmaking, and you're able to one-shot some of the +2 tanks in the game, which is weird as well. But dispersion at 100 meters, it makes it hard, having 0.48 dispersion, -6 degrees of gun depression, 15 degrees of gun elevation. It carries 40 shells, and turret traverse angle 16 degrees. So 16 degrees in total, I guess, which is quite small. Traverse angle. And so firepower, very interesting. 40 shells. Well, if you run out of shells in this vehicle, you had a cracking game. Mobility, 45 top speed, 15 moving backwards, 500 horsepower engine, 14.5 power to weight ratio, hull traverse speed 35, gun traverse speed 30 degrees per second. So mobility actually not half bad, quite decent, for this type of vehicle. 45 top speed, yeah, not bad. It depends what the range resistance numbers, of course, are going to be. Survivability, 480 hit points, so very lightly armored vehicle, very low hit points, basically a glass cannon. Hull armor 45 all around, in the front, on the sides, in the rear. View range 280 meters. Like all the other stats besides the gun handling, besides the firepower, this seems like artillery. This seems like field artillery, if you ask me. And it has a lot of crew members as well, 6 crew members actually in total. Commander, gunner, driver, radio operator, and 2 loaders. 1 for each gun, yes. HE and heat rounds, as I said before. So this is SU-2-122, first double-barreled tank destroyer in the game. What do you think about that? What do you think about the German KV-1, the Harry Hopkins, the light tank, tier 4 British light tank, and also object 283 and Char Mle 75. A lot of vehicles covered in today's video, a lot of topics covered in today's video. Let me know what you think about all of that in the comment section down below. You guys have been very beautiful. I thank you for tuning in. I get you next time with something else. Stay awesome, stay beautiful, stay sexy, take care, and bye.